business is a coffee business. We have 2 locations. We have one on the Omagh Road and we have one just recently opened in Botanic Avenue. We basically import our coffee from Copenhagen and have sort of a Danish inspired theme within our coffee shops. So I opened the first shop in the Omagh Road in June 2014 and very lucky that it is doing very well. And then, being honest, the second outlet is probably a little sooner than I would have liked, but it was more by opportunity than plan. There was a plan to develop the business, and an opportunity just came up that I thought was a good opportunity for the business, a good location, and it actually becomes a bit of a snowball then. Suddenly you have an idea. Suddenly 6 months later you're opening the shop. You know, the first time everything's new, and yes, you've learnt a lot from opening the first shop and you've learnt a lot, but at the same time you're opening another business when you still have an existing business that needs to function and needs to run well. You can't put all your focus on the second shop because your first one, it still needs to perform at the same level. I just assumed everybody knew we were on the Omagh Road, everybody knew who Kaffe O was, everybody knew what we were about, but actually when we opened in Botanic, which is less than a mile from the Omagh Road location, people had never heard of us. So what you're doing is you basically feel like you're starting again, and that's really hard. It's really hard when you get to a point where your business is established and you think everything's great, to actually come back to stage one again and having to put all the effort and all the energy back at the start to building up the business. Having 2 shops isn't twice the work, it's 3 or 4 times the work, you know, and it's not 3 or 4 times the money. So I think people need to absolutely, did I have systems and processes in place that I could transfer across? Did I have a brilliant staff that could come in and train new people? Yeah, and that helped me personally massively. But actually, you still have to be that person and that driving force behind both businesses, and also not forgetting about your first business. I think without knowing that there's somebody there who's always on your side, and that's really important, because when you're opening a business and growing a business, sometimes it feels like everybody isn't on your side and you're fighting constantly. So to actually have that emotional support, sometimes you just want to go home and feel sorry for yourself that there's somebody there who will listen to you. So notwithstanding that it was my husband really supported me as well, it's my contacts that I've made within the business, and actually my staff, because 100% I would not be here sitting talking to you if I didn't have amazing guys, and I have amazing guys in both shops that enable me to grow a business, and that's basically, they are the most important people in your business. Advice I would give to people growing their business is it is really, really difficult, and what I have found challenging as well is financially. It's difficult growing a business when you have a particularly new business, because cash flow is king. So capital expenditure again is massive. So you get to a point in the first business where you think you're getting to a good stage, and then it's gone because all your money is then going into building a new business. So I think you've got to get used to living with very little money, and that's being just totally honest. You know, it's if you are, for me, is building a business is my #1 priority, then there have to be sacrifices to be made for that to happen. So I think people need to be realistic. I think I would find it very difficult going back into an office environment, if I'm being honest. I love going to work in my jeans every day, which as a corporate lawyer doesn't really go down too well. I love flexibility. Personally, I just want to keep fit, keep healthy, keep well, and if I have those 3 things, then whatever business throws my way, I'm sure I'll be able to cope with.